I truly believe that a looper pedal should be everyone's first guitar pedal. It is often maybe an overdrive pedal or a delay, and a looper pedal, it does force you to work on your timing. It is the most free you will probably feel while ever playing guitar. And although the primary goal for a lot of you guys will be, you know, reading tab and learning the songs that you want to learn, that should only be one end goal. There's a couple of other ones in there, and this is definitely one of them. So what am I referring to? I mean, even just as an example, as a song that's gone live today, I could do Walk Don't Run. That'd be pretty fun, I think. So let's have a go at this. All right, let me put this whole chord progression in the looper, and then we'll go for it. All right, in 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's now in the looper, and I can relax. Let me make that loop a bit quieter, and I'm going to add some delay. That's the kind of idea. That's with a song example. That's not where I'd start. I'll probably start with something like an A minor chord. So let's just jam an A minor chord. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, loop. And it's now in the loop, right? So I can now think, what can I play over an A minor chord? I put that question out to the group. What should I play? You guys let me know what I should play over this. What was I just playing then? Is there a scale or something that's going to work? Is A major scale going to work over this? Let's try that. Not really. So A minor chord, so it's going to be A minor, right? A minor scale. Sounds cool, it's not very exciting, but it's where we start. Let's play that A minor scale, but go generally in scale order. Do one significant jump, turn around, and shake up the rhythm a bit. Also, most importantly, don't start from here. Start from like here or here. Any of the other octaves. It's such a great point, okay? So when we got this lower one, go back to camera 2. Don't start from here because it's going to sound like a riff. Start from here. that's one chord jam in the key of A minor. Let's go through all 12 keys now, just for fun. I have a full course on this. I'm not going to teach the exact same jams as that course, but I'm going to cover something you can do in all 12 keys that's palatable, that anyone could kind of practice with a loop, just to see it. So you see me do it a lot of times, and it encourages you guys to do this. Does anyone not have a looper pedal? Do you all have one already? And what's been your experience with it? Are you using it? Are you not using it? Do you want some more ideas? Because I truly believe that a looper pedal should be everyone's first guitar pedal. It is often maybe an overdrive pedal or a delay, and a looper pedal, it does force you to work on your timing. Because without good rhythm and good timing and being able to at least tap your foot to the beat, it will all fall apart. And you may see it fall apart when I try some stuff here, but we've just done one in A minor. So let's do something in A sharp now, or B flat. And let's go major. Let me just go kind of... You guys have seen me do this kind of jam before a couple of times, so let's go 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. For some reason loop pedal's not working. There we go. 3, 4. There we go, and it's so this is major. I quite like that one. I'm going to add that in as another layer. That one's still there. That one sounds cool. So let's go. And you can kind of keep going from there, basically. So let me work all of that backwards again. Let me do it all in reverse. You saw me do a little melody. That one is basically doing a major scale pattern. That's just shape 1. That's in the current intermediate course on the just intermediate acoustic. I shook up the rhythm. So not something that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I then did a little. And what I was playing over, A major to a D, A sharp to D sharp major 7, which again just gives it a very majory sound. Next key is B. Let's do something kind of rock and roll blues. Let's go for B. B's a really cool blues key. So let me put in, this time, a little blues like this. Like a rock and roll, we're gonna do Chuck Berry, okay? In a 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4, loop pedal. In many ways, if you can play that rhythm, which is challenging, it's at intermediate level, but it's the easiest things to play over because you can just, like, you're barely even playing a scale, you're just picking 2 frets from the one that's your key, which in this case is B, and then just always do fret 7 and 9, but always hit the root on its own. And you can have that first finger muting, string 1, string 4, and that right hand. The bend a little harder, but still very much doable. Let's make sure my headstock's in. There you go. Beautiful. Right, let's do key of C now. Can any of you guys name a song that's in the key of C? Gareth struggles with the stomp timing. Yeah, that's the thing that takes the... I don't use it enough to get the time in. Gareth's still way off in the early stages. Is it something I should invest in? I'm only playing for myself at home. I think so. I would say it's the first pedal everyone should get, if certainly if you haven't got one. I got Looper on this, the most fun I've had in ages. There you go. Michael says getting timing right there needs a bit of practice. Yeah, and it's something I still get wrong, so it's all good. Let me go for like a what's the so we're in the key of C major now because we've gone up a fret to C. So let me put in a kind of half the world away vibe into this. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. There's a little pause there, so we'll see how we get on. I'm going to go C major pentatonic now. When all you guys were saying A minor pentatonic before, C major pentatonic is that same set of notes, just start on the C instead. Where I would normally do this, or this, all that still works. You just need to finish on the C, or one note higher than the A that you would finish on before. What you can do as well is nick bits of solos. So A minor pentatonic, C major, I think Don't Look Back in Anger. For example, next up, C sharp. When we had C sharp, it's not a very guitar friendly key. I really like this chord. And one song I came across recently that's perfect for a loop pedal jam in C sharp. This would be C sharp minor. This would be... 2, 3, 4. That's now in there. You guys recognize this? We could play this in C sharp minor pentatonic. See how I'm doing the same move as Don't Look Back in Anger there? So that's C sharp minor. We do have some Springsteen songs that we could fit into this. Next one would be D. So what we got in D? Let me have a look at a couple of these. Nebraska. Let me just have a quick refresher of what Nebraska sounds like. Okay, so that isn't the chords I've written down, so it's not in D, so that'll be with a capo. But I'm going to go, instead this time, I'm going to do a same kind of thing to that, but D to G. So I'm going to go 2, 3, 4. That's now in the looper. D. Major pentatonic. That's all I need to think about. Here's a great trick. If you ever find the root note, start from 2 frets above. That's what Taylor Swift does. And John Mayer. Nice one. So next up, we'd be in the key of E flat. When I think of E flat, I think of Green Day, to be honest with you. Something that's a bit like in that vibe. So let's do. Yeah, let's do a bit of that. So let's think of 1, 2, 3, 4. Think of a Green Day. Think of it like. There you go. Bit of a not. It wasn't super Green Day, but it was a kind of vibe. E. Let's go. Let's go. Full classic Def Leppard. Let's go. 1, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. In a perfect loop, but you can see I gave it a go. F. When I think of the key of F, probably think of something like Torn by Natalie Imbruglia. 2, 3, 4. What's that lead line? Let's have a look at this. Let's change tack totally. Let's pretend the Edge from U2 suddenly entered the chat. I love doing this sort of thing. It is so fun. Right, so we're on. That was F, so we're in F sharp now. I'd either think of. I actually think that's in. I think it's in G. So let's do something like. Let's do something like. I don't think that's going to be a good loop, but let's see. actually pretty good. I got away with it. And let me have a... Let me do. May work. All right, back on the Springsteen ones, we do have Atlantic City is probably the easiest one, and that's kind of in the key of G. So let's go for 2, 3, 4. And we've only got G sharp left. What should we do in G sharp? Let's do, yeah, something like a, something like a, something like that. So this will be a tough one, but let me give it a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's in there. Let's get some wow effects. Yeah. Let me go for a bit of this. Oh yeah. So hopefully that kind of gives you some inspiration and ideas. But what I found interesting there was when I started using the wah effect, I was having to again tap the beat to do that most common kind of wah. Ba da do do da da do da. That's what I'm doing with my foot. So So you're tapping the beat, and that's again like what you have to do with a wah pedal. To do kind of any of this stuff, so kind of. All right. So we currently have a how to jam in all 12 keys with a looper pedal, but for acoustic guitar. That is already on the website. Some of you will remember it's basically where I do exactly that, but we do it all on acoustic guitar. And that is a great way to first of all check your timing, because if you're having trouble getting a loop pedal going with that, it's really foundational to try and get that one mostly ticked off. Though, as you've seen with me, sometimes a loop can mess up and you got to kind of just start again, and that's good. It just means that it's the best way to stay sharp, basically. But I would definitely say that when you challenge yourself to play in all 12 keys, just something, even if you only know minor in one, like certain positions and stuff, it's really it's the most beneficial thing. It stops you from just relying on too much on a capo, too much on the old familiar shapes. It's the best way to just shake everything up. Just make sure you can play in different keys. Thank you for watching. Remember, this was a live replay from the website andyguitar.co.uk. I'll be going live a little bit on YouTube as well, but twice a week for at least an hour. Most of the time it's 90 minutes. All at andyguitar.co.uk/live. Join me over there. The link's in the description. I'll see you there. Bye-bye for now.